In this class we are going to start the third unit, that is synchronous sequential logic. Okay, so now in that the first topic is sequential circuits. Okay, so here first of all we need to see introduction of sequential circuits. Okay, so first of all, what is meant by sequential circuit? Okay, so what is meant by sequential circuit means it's generally a combinational circuit. Okay, so sequential circuit is a combinational circuit and with memory. Okay, so what is meant by sequential circuit? So sequential circuit is generally a combinational circuit with a memory. So already previously we taken the introduction and some applications of combinational circuits. Okay, so go and check the previous unit. Whatever we discussed in the second unit, already we have the combinational circuit, so already we discussed. Okay, so here the combinational circuit is generally that output is depends on present input, but it's not having the memory. Okay, it's not having any memory, that is the combinational circuit. Okay, so what is meant by sequential circuit? So sequential circuit is nothing but a combinational circuit. That means that output is depends on present input as well as past output, and it consists of the memory. That is the difference in between combinational circuit and sequential circuit. Okay, so see the block diagram of sequential circuit. So just now I told sequential circuit consists of the combinational circuit. Okay, and it just consists of the memory. Okay, so like this it consists of the one input part and also it exhibits one output. Okay, so this is the block diagram of the sequential circuit. Okay, so what is meant by sequential circuit? Sequential circuit is a combinational circuit that output is depends on the present input. Okay, this output is depends on present input as well as past outputs, and also it consists of the memory. Okay, so this is the definition of the sequential circuit. Okay, so it will be depends on present input and past output. Okay, so the definition of sequential circuit is whose output is depends on present input as well as past output. That circuits are called as the sequential circuit, and also it consists of the memory. And this sequential circuit speed of operation is very low. Speed of operation is low as compared to the combinational circuits. Okay, so remember this is the block diagram and this is the definition of sequential circuit. Okay, so see here sequential circuits are classified into two types. Okay, so let's see the classifications. It will be classified into two types, depends on timing of their signals. Okay, so sequential circuits will be classified into two types, depends on their timing signal, and that means depends on time. It will be classified into two types. One is synchronous sequential circuits. Synchronous sequential circuits. And another one is asynchronous sequential circuits. Okay, it will be divided into two types, depends on the timing signal. It will be divided into two types, synchronous sequential circuits and asynchronous sequential circuits. Okay, so first let's see what is meant by synchronous sequential circuit. Okay, so that means as the name indicates, it runs with the same clock pulse. Synchronous is nothing but it is a similar clock pulse. Okay, whatever the circuits we are taking in that, whatever the sequential circuits we are taking in synchronous, that all circuits will be run with the same clock pulse. That means single clock will be connected to the all the circuits in this synchronous. Okay, that means it having similar clock pulse. So but coming to the asynchronous sequential circuits, it runs with the different clock pulse. That means whatever sequential elements are there in that, those elements are not going to use same clock pulse. Okay, that is the asynchronous sequential circuit. So that means here we are connecting the different clock pulses. For example, if you are taking one sequential circuit, okay, so it may be consist of 4 level synchronous sequential circuits if you are taking. So all synchronous sequential, that means all sequential circuits are connected with the single clock. This is the one clock we are taking, so this will be connected to the all the circuits. That's why this all 4 clock signal, that means this all 4 sequential circuits are run with the similar clock pulse. So this is equal to the synchronous sequential circuit. For example, if you are taking the same sequential circuits of 4 levels, okay, so this will be maybe connected as different clock signals. That means individual clock pulses are connected to the each sequential circuit. So that means it runs with this another clock and it runs with the another clock. So like that, different clocks are connected to the each level. So that means this is asynchronous sequential circuits. Okay, so the clocks are different, so then that is called as the asynchronous. And if the clock will be single, so that will be connected to the all the circuits, that is called as synchronous sequential circuits. Okay, so this is the definition and classifications of the sequential circuits. Okay, so what is the best example for sequential circuits means, we have the best example for the sequential circuits are flip-flops. Okay, so the best example for synchronous sequential circuits is flip-flops, and the best example for asynchronous sequential circuits are latches. Okay, so this is the best example, and synchronous the example is flip-flops. And for the sequential, general sequential circuits of examples are flip-flops, registers, and latches, and counters. So these are the best example for sequential circuit. So in that, what are the synchronous and what are the asynchronous means, synchronous is flip-flops and asynchronous is latches and counters also. And for this registers also we are having. Okay, so these are all related to the sequential circuits. Okay, so now coming to the next concept, that is latches and flip-flops. Okay, so now we'll see the first concept is latches here. Simple thing. So latches is nothing but these are called as asynchronous sequential circuits. Generally latches are asynchronous sequential circuits in which they are not having a specific clock pulse. Okay, they are not having a specific clock pulse. It is having the different clock pulses. Okay, we can say that these are unclocked flip-flops. And also this latches are can stores the 1-bit memory. Okay, it can store 1-bit memory. Okay, so that's why these latches and flip-flops are generally we are calling a case sequential circuits. No, it can stores the 1-bit element. That 1-bit element either zeros or ones. That means it can store the binary information either 0 or 1 only. So that means 1-bit memory storage elements are latches and flip-flops. Okay, so that's why the latches are called as the asynchronous or unclocked sequential circuits also. Okay, so and generally these latches are classified into so many types, in that we are using in nowadays, that is SR latch only. Okay, so remember this one. So we are having the types of latches or SR latch, D latch. So many latches will be there. So but in nowadays we are using the SR latch only. Okay, so these latches are can be used in flip-flops version. Okay, so remember that one. So this is the latches version, and now coming to the next concept is flip-flops. Okay, so now we'll see the introduction of flip-flops. So flip-flops is nothing but generally 1-bit storage elements. Okay, so flip-flops are also called as the 1-bit memory elements. Okay, now we'll see the block diagram of flip-flop. So generally flip-flop is a 1-bit storage element. Now it consists of number of inputs. Okay, so that means inputs will be maybe increased up to n number of, and the outputs will be, we are having only two, that is one is normal output and another one is complement output. Okay, so here the normal output we can represent it as q, and the complement output we can represent it as q complement. Okay, so see here a1, a2 and up to so on an. So what is meant by flip-flop? So flip-flop is a basic digital memory element or basic digital memory circuit, and it can store the one bit of information that may be either 0 or 1. Okay, so this is the block schematic representation of the or block diagram of the flip-flop. So it just consists of the n number of inputs and only two outputs we are having. So that two outputs we are calling here, the first output we can represent it by q, that we can call it as a normal output, and q complement is nothing but that is inverted output or complement output. That means exactly opposite to this. If normal output may be as 0, if q is equals to 0, what about the q complement means exactly opposite. So 0 is converted to the 1. So that means 0 complement is 1 or 1 complement is 0. So this is the flip-flop. Okay, so now here just now I explained latches are classified into so many types, but in this syllabus we are having only SR latch. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about that SR latch. Okay, before going to see the flip-flop, compulsory we should learn about the SR latch, because all the flip-flops are connected to the SR latches only. Without latch the flip-flop can't work. Okay, so what is the difference in between latch and flip-flop means, the latch is nothing but it doesn't consist of the clock signal. Flip-flop is nothing but with clock signal it will be work. Without clock signal it will be work. That is the difference in between latch and flip-flop. Okay, so remember that one. What is the difference in between latch and flip-flop means, latches doesn't having the clock signal but flip-flop having the clock signal. Okay, so now we'll see the SR latch. I will show the diagram for this, how to represent the SR latch diagram. So SR latch can be represented by with two gates. One is NAND gate and another one is NOR gate. You know this is the NOR gate, right? NAND gate is nothing but you can represent like a AND with complement, right? So here I am taking the NOR logic. So this is the SR latch diagram. Okay, so see here, this is the logic circuit of SR latch. Actually SR latch circuit we can design by using NOR logic. Okay, we can design by NOR logic and NAND logic also. So NAND logic is nothing but like this. That means the SR latch can be implemented with the help of two gates. One is NAND gate and another one is NOR gate. Okay, so first of all we need to see here the SR latch by using NOR logic. Okay, so all of you keep in mind when you are taking latches or when you are taking flip-flops by using NOR gate, compulsory or definitely you take R as first and S as next. Okay, so you should keep in mind what I am saying here. that is nothing but whenever, that means when you are going to design SR latch with the help of NOR logic. Okay, so with the help of NOR logic, or when you are going to design SR flip flop also with the help of NOR logic, so compulsory you should take it as, in the two inputs we are having no S and R, in that R will be the first and S will be the next, you should take it like this. S and R is nothing but set and reset. S means set and R means reset. So if you want to say this set and reset in binary information, set can be represented by 1 and reset can be represented by 0 in binary logic. Okay, so remember that one. So here we are taking in NOR logic now, SR logic we are taking in NOR logic. So that's why I should take it as R as first and S as next. Okay, so you just take reset in the normal path. Normal path is nothing but this is. And complement path you should take it as set. Okay, you should take reset in the normal path and set in the complement path. So this is the mandatory identification for designing latches by using NOR gates. Okay, so this is the important thing while you are designing SR latch with the help of NOR gate. Okay, R is the first input, that should be in normal path, and S is the next input, that should be in the complement path. Okay, so if you want to take required functionality, you must given the inputs is like this. While designing latches or flip-flops of any circuit, compulsory the first step is we need to consider the truth table. Okay, so remember one thing, already knows how to draw the truth table. Okay, so already we discussed in combinational circuits truth table, how to draw that. So if you want to design truth table, already we discussed how to implement or how to design the truth table in logic gates, right? So truth table is nothing but it is a one tabular form. It can be represented, or the relation between inputs and outputs, that is represented by truth table. Okay, so truth table means we need to consider the inputs and outputs. But in combinational circuit, we know that consists of n number of inputs and m number of outputs. But in sequential circuit, whatever the output we are having, that means the first we should given as input to the sequential circuit, then only we are getting the outputs. Okay, so whatever the truth table we if you want to design, so compulsory you should learn the first how many inputs you are having and how many outputs you are getting. Okay, so based on that circuit you should write it. So we have the two inputs S and R, and for example if you are taking SR latch, so we are having the two inputs R and S, and the outputs will be Q and Q complement. So the relation between inputs and outputs will get the truth table. Okay, and coming to the NAND logic, so while designing of SR latch with the help of NAND logic, so there is no specifications for this. You should take it as S in the normal path and R is in the complement path. So don't worry, you should take it as a normal way, that is nothing but S in the normal path and R in the complement path. That's your wish how to take the inputs. Inputs are given to the NAND logic circuits of SR latch. Okay, so only the NOR logic, while designing the NOR logic, compulsory you should follow the some mandatories, some rules, that is nothing but R in the normal path and S in the complement path. Okay, so in that, while designing latches or flip-flops, whatever that sequential circuit, compulsory we should follow the some rules So what are the rules we are having in that means, the first rule will be, while designing sequential circuit, first you should implement the logic diagram, and the second one is truth table. Okay, so these are the important things we are having while designing the sequential circuits. Okay, one is logic diagram and another one is truth table or circuit diagram, whatever we are having that in the operation, circuit operation, we should follow these rules. Okay, so see here also, while designing flip-flops we should follow these rules. Okay, so in these flip-flops generally classified into 5 types. So classifications of flip-flops. So totally we are having the 5 classifications. One is SR flip-flop, and the second one is D flip-flop, and the third one is JK flip-flop, and the fourth one is T flip-flop, and the fifth one is a master slave JK. Okay, so totally we are having the 5 classifications of flip-flops. SR flip-flop is nothing but we are saying like a set and reset flip-flop. And the second one D flip-flop is nothing but a data flip-flop. And JK is nothing but John Kilby flip-flop. And T is nothing but toggle flip-flop. And master slave John Kilby flip-flop. Okay, so totally 5 types of flip-flops we are having in that. Okay, so now if you want to design each and every flip-flop in that, compulsory we need SR flip-flop, SR latch. Okay, so if you want to design NOR logic of flip-flops, then you can use the NOR logic of SR latch. Or if you want to go if you want to design with the NAND logic of flip-flops, then you can use it as NAND of SR latch. Okay, so now we'll see in that first concept, that is SR flip-flop.